Good morning. It is Thursday, June 13th. We're 90 days out from September 11th. We are doing our DTD2, and today is a Fight Club day, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 to 11. KWFightClub.com. You shoot in there. You make your calls. You make your contacts. Whatever you're doing for outreach to make sure that you're connecting with your people. We've got a blueprint for who you should be talking to. It's the DTD2, Do the Database 2. You're calling your T's and your J's this week, and you are texting your K's. As we exit from the morning quick start today, you'll be heading for the 9 o'clock KW Fight Club, KWFightClub.com. Cameras on, microphones off, making phone calls, making connections. If your camera's on and you're not making phone calls, are you doing handwritten notes? Are you doing any work you're doing to move the needle in your business? Not that we want like a trail cam, like you're in a polar bear tank, but just so we can all see each other sort of embracing the suck together. Because nobody wants to do what we do in our industry before lunch. I'll repeat that. No one really wants to do what we do in our industry before lunch, right? The romance of our industry is everything after lunch when we're on appointments, right? We grow our business in the morning. We run our business in the afternoon. Yet if you don't grow it in the morning, you have nothing to run in the afternoon. So we want to make sure that we're doing the damn thing in the morning. So we're making our phone calls. We're checking in with our people. And I just use the C word. Don't use the C word. When you are having conversations with your humans in the morning, please stay away from the F word and the C word. Stay tuned. I would love for you to stop saying following up and stop saying checking in. As soon, and this is me, and I think this is a little insider baseball, right? Sometimes it's tough to read the ingredients when you're inside the jar, and we're sort of inside the jar of real estate. If I'm a human, and this is my perception, and yes, we've all been in the industry for a long time, and I've been in my coaching role, so I see and hear things differently. My perspective is if I hear somebody say, "Hey, Timmy, it's Steve, just checking in," like that just sounds like box checked, right? Or following up. Like that's not, you're not leading me anywhere. You're bringing me back to a past conversation. Now, I need you to take the evidence from the past conversation and bring me as your consumer, as your interested party, as your future client into a new conversation. So what was your last conversation with them? What's the gap? According to the information you have and the goal or the motivation they've given you, what are the next logical steps and how do you start that conversation? Rather than, "Hey, Tim, it's Steve, just checking in. Hey, Tim, it's Steve, just following up." Let's try, "Hey, Tim, it's Steve, thinking about you guys over the weekend. You and Janina had talked about what if we did X. Would you be opposed to," right? And always, always, I love the negative positive. "Would it be a problem if I showed you a house that was a fit for you?" Well, of course not, Steve. "Awesome, Tim. Can you meet me at 3? Right? And I think if we do that and we roadmap and we storyboard them on their route to success as opposed to, "Hey, Tim, it's Steve, just checking in." And we can all feel it as soon as I say that. And my energy drops when I say checking in and following up because I think it sucks. That's another conversation for another time. But let's start to lead them to where, based on the evidence they've given you and the motivation they've shared with you, you know they want to go. And maybe that's changed since your last conversation. Stay away from following up. Stay away from checking in. I know we call it lead follow-up. We don't need to tell the humans the title of the mechanics of what we're doing. We want to make it romantic. We want to make it exciting. We want to make it inspiring, right? Logic makes them think. Emotion makes them act. And the purchase or the sale or the investing in, or maybe even the consideration of joining a brokerage like ours, there will be logic injected from a business standpoint. It's arguably the largest transaction of their life. The driver will be the emotion behind it, the motivation behind why they're moving. If you're selling and buying right now on the Seacoast, you're selling you've got another kid on the way and you're selling your 975 to move into a 1.2, That's not like, hey, let's go spend over $300,000 more on another house. The motivation behind that is the lifestyle you want to create for your family. I'm going to tap into that my client shared with me in an earlier call and move them forward. And rather than saying following up or checking and just, hey, I was thinking about you guys. In our last conversation, it was important to you to be in this process by July 4th. Well, Tim, Janina, here it comes. The holiday weekend's only a couple weeks away. A house came on overnight. It's the one we spoke about. Wait till you see it. I sent you the link, and I know you're excited about this. And Tim, you gave me permission to call you and pull you out of school. So I'm going to ask you to leave your office at 2:30. Could you please let Janina know to meet us there? I've already talked to the listing agent. They're going to meet us at 3 o'clock. We'll have the place to ourselves. And they trust me because we've had this conversation. I know what they're looking for. I understand their motivation. I just reminded them of all those trigger points. And I promised them way back when, Mike Hicks, the promise, I promised them I would never pull them out of the office unless it was important. I gained their permission to do so. So they know they're meeting me at 2:59 in Portsmouth to see a house that's going to blow them away. Not like, hey, let's go kick the tires. Hey, let's follow up. Hey, let's check in. Words matter. And Maya Angelou said it's rare they'll remember what we said. They will always remember how we made them feel. Are you creating an experience inside of the transaction, right? That is very mechanical. That is very logical. When we can start to make it experiential and emotional, they will be raving fans for the rest of their natural life. That is our mission from God. Blues Brothers quote there for you if you're keeping score at home. After Fight Club. Now you can't wait to pick up the phone. You're very excited. I love that about you. KWFightClub.com. That's 9 to 11 today. After Fight Club, this afternoon, just so you know, if you are in the Portsmouth area, they are going to be up in the roof. So if you go to the ladies' room, it'll be the men's room. If you go to the men's room, it'll be the ladies' room. It's 2024. Who cares? Anyway, the ladder to the roof is in the ladies' room. A schematic issue. Like we should have figured that out before we built the place, but we'll talk about that later. So I don't think they'll be on the roof, but they're going to be up in they're going to be up in the false roof playing with the wires. We're having the wireless internet is being attacked today. Not attacked by hackers or Russia or anything. Hi, Putin. You don't look great today. They're tweaking our internet. So I don't think it's the hardwire internet. I think we're boosting the wireless internet here in the office. And the window in which we are scheduled to be down, which I would argue maybe the entirety of our internet might be down from 2 to 3 p.m. That is the scheduled window. So we're letting you know now so you don't feel like, hey, I can't get a hold of anybody. If you're sitting in the office and you're trying to play Candy Crush, you're like, what's going on? I got to use my cell data. I should be able to use the Wi-Fi. Between 2 and 3, we're down. Just so you know, that's going to get taken care of. Then by 3 o'clock, you're headed to Thursdays with KT. The great KT Temple, our Market Center tech trainer. Don't forget, he is in the cloud. He's like the Wizard of Id. He is stationed in North Carolina, and he's a Market Center tech trainer for his Market Center, also another Market Center in South Carolina, and then he also handles a Market Center in Alaska. Why is that beneficial for us? Well, my last conversation with KT, and if you spent any time with him, and if you haven't, you got him today at 3 and 4. We'll get to that in just a second. KT Temple has been in the ecosystem for a long time. His parents have a phenomenal team in North Kakalaka. He has been in many roles here at Keller Williams, all the way up to team leader, and he found he loves to dork out. He really loves tech, and he's got a heart and a passion for teaching. So MCTT made sense for him, and we were lucky enough to go into business with him a handful of months ago. So KT Temple hits your screen today at 3 o'clock for the Tech Mastermind. This is every Thursday at 3. He's in the Zoom room. The link is in the morning news. You go in there, you ask your questions. Sometimes there's a bunch of people in there. Sometimes it's just a handful of you, and you're going to get your time with KT to ask questions. Anything. It's a town hall style Tech Mastermind with KT. At 4 o'clock, then he moves into his tech onboarding. And this is if you're getting your feet wet, or maybe you just need to sort of brush up on all the tech we have here at Keller Williams. He's going to take you through and make sure all your stuff is plugged in properly. If you need And you're welcome to do this. I shouldn't say if. When you need your time with KT, you can book him. When you go into the KWCLM hub, go across the top and click on like productivity coaching and tech, and you'll go down and it'll say like, how do I get more help with tech? And you'll see a page there that you'll click and you can schedule with KT. The beauty of that, because he deals with a market center in Alaska, KT is available on some school nights way up until like almost 7 o'clock our time, which is great, even past that sometimes. And he's now available, I believe it is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. So KT Temple is available 7 days a week, which is phenomenal. You got him today. Today's his big tech day. Every Thursday, 3 o'clock for the mastermind, 4 o'clock for onboarding if you're just getting started. And then, of course, every Thursday at 6, the Tiffany Hampton does evening group coaching for the entire region. She's our regional productivity coach. Tiffany Hampton hits your screen at 6 p.m. The link for the Zoom is in the morning news. If I can help with anything, reminding you that it's not about checking in. It's not about following up. It's about crafting a conversation that moves them to their next logical step. Our job is not to convince somebody, to hoodwink somebody, to swindle somebody into a transaction. As Gary has said for years, our job is to guide them and to help them answer their own questions, to stay curious, keep peeling the onion. So any circumstances they may have stacked up in their head, we can start to help them work through. The people in our lives are going to buy and sell and invest and maybe join our brokerage as fellow realtors when the time is appropriate for them, when it makes sense for them and their loved ones. Our job is to remain a human in the gap, in between those decisions, as wise counsel with great information, a loving heart, wide open ears, and bringing logic and data to the conversation and wrapping it in the emotion of what is important to them. When we can do that, we will win. If I can help with this, it is 603-834-2856. You need to book my face? God help you. It is meetwithcoach.com. We'll see you in and around the market center and the internet. It's going to be spicy for the next week, so break out those sundresses and the shorts, and we'll see you soon. Take care.